Going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and we have a really interesting video for you guys today because come to find out, the Greater Phoenix Economic Council is recruiting Californians to move to Phoenix or Arizona, but mostly Phoenix. So if you're looking forward to hearing about this and you want to know what the heck is the deal with that, because as you know, some Arizonans are like, Californians, no, we don't. I've lived in California, so nothing against California. I was in the military station there, but a lot of the people I've talked to from Phoenix, they don't want Californians here. I didn't realize how much of a grievance the rest of the United States doesn't want Californians. So if you're from California and you move to Phoenix, I think you'll be okay as long as you don't think too California-like. So just kind of blend in. Don't try to be Joe California out here or Jane California out here in Arizona, because you might stand out and it might not work out too good for you. But obviously be yourself. I mean, no one wants to be controlled or told what to do. But I have talked to some locals who have said that. But anyway, if you're new to this channel and you like keeping up with Arizona, you can subscribe to us. Turn on the bell if you want to get notified every time we make a video. And let's go ahead and talk about this subject of the Greater Phoenix Economic Council. So right here you have Greater Phoenix Economic Council launches effort to recruit Californians to Arizona. You can see this is posted on ABC 15. If you didn't know, ABC 15 is one of the local news stations out here, and I really like them. Ask any of many people who chose to make the Valley home, and you'll hear a few responses. Sunshine and warm, said Kayla Caldwell, who recently relocated from Washington. And when she was asked why, even though Maricopa County is already growing faster than any other county in the country, business leaders want more. So you could see that story on ABC 15. ABC 10 also did a write-up on this where they were talking about the hashtag Castruggles. So if you wanted to catch up with the report from Fox 10, another news channel out here, they're talking about how Californians are finding it very hard to survive in the Los Angeles area in particular. It's really bad, where they're getting priced way out of California, and it's really overcrowded in it. And some are even calling it not a cesspool, because that's obviously an overly dramatic statement to make, but it's not good. Los Angeles is in a bad way, and I've gone to Los Angeles a couple times here in the last year. And I can honestly say, usually when I go to LA, I'm usually excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm in LA. And then after an hour of just being out and about, I'm like, I don't know about this. I mean, LA is so unique because it's you go there, it's like this gorgeous terrain, and it's on the ocean, and it's just got this Edenic type feel, but something's off with it. And I could say, as someone who grew up in Phoenix, and I used to drive, you could just drive to Los Angeles. It's 5 hours away, depending on how fast you drive. Some say 4.5 hours, some say 6. But I used to go to Los Angeles in the early 90s, and honestly, I always loved Los Angeles. It just doesn't have that same appeal anymore. And I don't quite know what it is. It could be overpopulation. It could be something else. I don't know. It could be high prices. It could just be the general feel in the air. And one of my theories about that is the reason that people are so cranky or uptight maybe in California is so expensive. I mean, when you're barely getting by, you're paying $2,600 a month for a 3-bedroom condominium that was built in 1968, and it's just not comfortable, and you got to pay. Everything's expensive. You got to drive and sit in traffic so much. I can see why that would put people in a bad mood. And that could be a big part of it, where even if you're living in a beautiful place, if it's too congested, too expensive, it's hard to really, and the jobs just aren't paying good, it's kind of hard to be happy. So you come to a place like Arizona where it's got everything but the ocean, and it may be a little bit hotter, but for $1,600, if you pay $2,700 a month in Arizona, you're living in a Scottsdale mega house. You pay $2,700 a month in Gilbert, you're living in a mansion almost. For real. I mean, $2,700 will get you a lot. When I say a mansion, maybe a 5-bedroom. That's a pretty big house. I mean, some people are like, well, 20 bedrooms is a mansion there, Jeff. Okay, but the point is that this is serious, seriously happening. You can see this on KCRA3. I think that's a Sacramento news outlet talking about this, and they're saying, and to get the message out, the council custom wrapped 24 cars that say California struggles are real. The first pro Phoenix car was seen on Bay Area streets Tuesday. So they've also got it going in the Bay Area. The site touts things like Phoenix lower median home costs compared to San Francisco. $256,000 for a home in Phoenix versus $954,000 for a home in San Fran. So dozens of California businesses that have expanded or relocated to Greater Phoenix, including Charles Schwab, Yelp, Silicon Valley Bank, and Amazon. I didn't know that those have all relocated here, so looks like we've discovered something new just right here in this video. We'll have to look into new companies from California that have relocated here. But in case you're wondering just who the Greater Phoenix Economic Council is, their mission is the investment promotion agency for Phoenix, Arizona area of the United States. GPEC says its goal is to market the Phoenix region in a way that attracts quality business and high-paying jobs. GPEC is a 503c corporation. Half of its funding comes from Maricopa County and local communities. So where did this organization come from? Well, in 1988, Barron's financial newspaper featured a cover story calling Phoenix Descending, Is Boomtown USA Going Bust? This was in 1988. Okay, so I was just 5 years old when that came out. In the 90s, it seemed like Phoenix was really pumping hard. So I don't know, maybe Barron's had it wrong or this economic council came in and saved the day. But the 90s in Phoenix were booming. And I know Phoenix was booming even before the 90s. Actually, Phoenix has always been booming. The article predicted that the Phoenix area would suffer from poor economic planning. In response, Phoenix Mayor Terry Goddard called an emergency economic development summit later that month, where the idea of an overreaching investment promotion agency was proposed. So these guys are just in charge of getting the word out about how great it is in Arizona or Phoenix to have a business. And then so if you go onto their website, you can see they've got Tempe Town Lake, although that's CGI. It's not how it actually looks yet. That's how it's proposed to look. It's funny because if they're going to do CGI, why don't they put people in that at least? I mean, people don't want to go places unless they see other people going there. It's like a subliminal thought. So I don't know. Maybe they could have thought a little bit more about like a couple, people in that picture. Anyway, so why invest in Greater Phoenix? Third largest labor market in the West, producing talent in high demand industries. A true meritocracy meritocracy where anyone can succeed. Meritocracy is this new word where basically it's a merit-based autocracy or democracy. So if you got the merits, you can talk a little bit more. But anyway, excellent connectivity to major metropolitan markets. By the way, this meritocracy is really mentioned pretty clearly in a book by Ray Dalio from, I think it's called Bridgewater. And that's the most successful investment firm, but Ray Dalio has a book called Principles. I read it, or I listened to it on Audible. Pretty good book, but he really outlines this meritocracy. And I think if you're into new words and you want to learn new things, check out Ray Dalio's book, Principles. I'm just saying because I thought it was a good book. Low cost operating environment and right to work state, access to global supply chains in northern Mexico, and dynamic national region. So this connection that the United States and Mexico has is very important. NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, has been around for a while, and this partnership between the labor market and the United States with Mexico kind of is there to offset some of the dependency on China. China might produce things more efficiently, but it takes a long time to haul them over across the Pacific, right? So Mexico, right across the border, has a big labor market, and people are looking to work, not be in cartels, hopefully, right? So Mexico, we should embrace that, and hopefully that partnership with Mexico can continue to grow and get better and better with time. And they're saying Phoenix, right there is Phoenix. Look at it. I mean, we're centrally located. I mean, I guess you could say San Antonio might be a little bit better positioning, but Phoenix is right there. San Diego too. Just look at how I mean, the way they position Phoenix, it makes it look like, yeah, Phoenix is where you need to go if you want to do business with Mexico. How we help companies, you could see, I mean, they got a bunch of, jargon on their website, just filler content. But that's pretty cool. Anyways, if you guys also want to keep up with us, join our group, Living in Arizona. If you haven't already, link below. Also, watch some of these other videos, and we will see you next time. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Living in Arizona. See y'all.